Good guys, here we go. We got 11 laps at Mount Panorama. GT Sprint Series. This is the official race. Using the BMW GT3, looking great. Starting off here in P12. Some real tight racing. Gotta be honest, I don't particularly remember this race, but saved in my replay file a real tight race. I took a good look over it, and that's exactly what it is. It's very, very cool. Sparks flying. Looking good. Still hanging on here. Me and Mount Panorama and these GT3s, it's really just trying to keep up the pace, make sure we don't knock into any balls. Trying to survive. Similar to how we race in Evergreen. So the only thing that keeps you really at any track, I think this is a given. The only thing that'll teach you this track is just keep running this track. Put it some time, run laps. Staying with the competition. That's all we want to do here is be competitive. Those decisions. Tucked in. I don't typically like going 3 wide the first couple laps here, so that makes sense that we do that. We'll get the draft down this long straight away. We'll go back out of this. We'll let him have the inside as well. He overbrakes. I'm in a bad place here, so he just takes me out. See position. Fighting on the way forward. So it looks like we slipped down to 13th place at this point. Early in the race, not too worried about it. There's a pretty good quality of drivers in here, as you can see. Everybody running a similar line, similar pace. Passing opportunities come up. They're not door to door. They're not doing anything crazy so far. But Mount Panorama is known to make the trip. So we sit, we run a nice solid pace, and we hope for the people ahead of us to have a worse time on the racetrack than we do today. Flying down the mountain. Ascension racing BMW. Look at this. Yep. Trying to get a little advantage going into that corner there. Trying to file out, use the draft to go us along. That's us safe and sound. Bit of a wiggle, we should be able to capitalize, break to the inside. Here we go for the pass. He's going to try to defend. With a little bit of door. Nope. We're respectful. Back off and give him the position again. Pass to the inside. So we have to play this a little too safe, if you ask me. Safe is pass, nonetheless. Grab the opportunities when they're smart opportunities. A little pressure on the McLaren ahead of us. aerial view as we come to the middle of the corner. You get a nice look at coming up the mountain here. Tight left-hander. As much momentum as you can get coming up this hill without slipping coming over that little crest there. Just past this straightaway. Yeah, going down the mountain now. It happens in a hurry. Let's see if we can keep it in cockpit mode here. There you go. Really cool look at the Fanatec steering wheel. Obviously, as sim racers, we're very familiar with the name Fanatec, but Fanatec did put a BMW a steering wheel into the GT3 BMW car, which is just awesome. A little integration of what we do here into the real world, which is where we all kind of want to be. Trying to make the guy ahead of us nervous here, I think. Yep. So let's watch this battle ensue here. See, kind of keeping the pressure on him through the corner here. Let's put him out the edge. Pressing on our quarter, but back in. Tight left-hander. And beat the body of the car. You can see that the BMW is trying to put some pressure on the planet now. It's a little bit different than it was before. P14. Draft to our advantage. Not putting a bumper to him at all. Waiting for him to feel the pressure, make a mistake. Down the mountain. This car is pretty planted coming down the mountain. It's a little stiff as you come to the exits, but try to get a good run down this mountain here. There we go. Good run. Tucked right in. Perfect amount of draft. Letting him know clearly, we want to pass you. To the outside of this corner, so we can inside to the next corner, and McLaren finally backs off. The Acura taking his position right away and making a little contact there, so that's good for us. We're going to pull away a little bit here. The Acura will have draft, but we are out the windshield vision only. Go ahead. Running to lap number 5 of 11. The sun's setting here in Australia. Mount Panorama. Famous Mount Panorama. No kangaroos on track today. Looking for us and kangaroos. On that straightaway, break a little bit of draft, move out one shot, one move back a little bit, some line, so I kind of stick to that rule strictly, ensure that I'm not one of those guys that has that controversial argument, because iRacing does not do stewardship in the middle of the race this year. You can't expect that they'll be able to do it all. A little bit of level of respect to these cars, these tracks. Try to conduct yourself like a professional. Do a little bit of do your own policing, so to speak. Make sure that you're in check and you got nothing for somebody to argue about. good area to make it up if we make it. Good braking zone, flying down the mountain now. See the pass going up ahead, and we are out the windshield, focused on that yellow Ferrari in front of us. One of the fastest section of the racetrack right now. This right-hander, you keep it pinned flat out, going into a really tight braking zone, going uphill. Left hand, right hand, curbs are high. Try not to hit them. Once again, downhill braking area, tight left-hander, narrow exit here. It's kind of flat, a little bit raised, so if you do get your wheels on there, as long as you don't sling yourself over the other side of it, you usually end up with a good little advantage by running into that curb. Kind of presses you back into the track. You can see we're catching up to this Ferrari here. And now on lap 6. One incident pointer is the record state here. Go. Time to see how consistent we've been able to be digging through this competition here. Some of the fastest lap times of the race during this area here, and then we must run into a little traffic. About lap 7, let's see how that plays out. Sorry if that was a spoiler. Currently sitting P13. Ferrari but the actor ahead. They had a mistake, but we're not worried about it. Big slide. Definitely losing speed. Once again, having trouble down that mountain there. We need a good exit here. Planning on bringing it to the wall. A couple cars behind us there.
Stefan, I can't disappear. You can turn left if I'm there. Just so you know.
In-race chatter from Diego. We get here in iRacing, we can literally communicate with the car around us. It's not typical that you get that in a lot of series in real racing. In some cases it makes for good racing, sometimes it just makes for some guy to start yelling like a maniac. Part of it. It's an emotional thing, it's emotional. Passionate thing that we do here. Really putting pressure on the actor ahead because they're battling. We can kind of start showing them that we want to make some space for us to get into this battle. We'll make both cars nervous by switching back and forth in their mirrors. Ferrari takes the bait and alongside with apex, we're gonna brake, stay wide. Bad run out of this here, but saved it from hitting the wall. There's a little space for the Ferrari to do its thing. And we are still on the chase. Italian flag on the, I guess that's the trunk of the Ferrari there. Obviously the motor is in there. We got the American flag livery of the Ascension race. Side by side, fight P11 ahead of us here. Comfortable enough gap in the Acura behind. Let these guys battle, try to be smart, a little early break in, let them get sorted out. Makes the pass, Ferrari gets loose with them, try to get him on the outside. Holds us off, the Acura is alongside of us, we have the inside line. Good braking inside, file back in. We've got draft from Ferrari ahead. The Acura doesn't get quite the run he needs to get past us, so we are shuffled back to the original positions we were. This is 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. 15th just popped in your camera. 16th. BMW behind is 17th, and the Acura behind. On the track, this is quite a tight battle, like the description says. Really duking it out. You can see, still got all the paint on their cars. Nice, respectful race. The actor every time I slow down because one of these guys made a mistake. Close the door over up there, and we get past the Acura. Right on the Ferrari. He knows where they're going to have to concede here. This is too tight to go too wide right here. Position P12 out of the unlucky number status there, if you believe in that. Oh, he did have the run, but the track does narrow out here, so having trouble coming down that mountain there. A little tap of the wall at that corner as well. Gap from the two Acuras behind. Still on the hunt to get this Ferrari. Real damage on the target clear after those two licks to the wall. Oh, Acura flying off. We need to watch his re-entry. He's smooth and safe. All right. Oh, and then he blocks. That is not cool. That is not cool. Let's keep a look on the cars behind here. This is going to be something. Oh! Oh! Oh no! Bruno, what were you thinking? How disrespectful can you be, man? Julio just an unfortunate, Julio Serrano, just a innocent bystander. He is out of his race. That's the end of his race.
Idiot.
That is sad. Let's see that again because Bruno just basically blamed it over on our buddy Julio here. Oh yeah, okay, I was wrong. On his line, tight to the grass. Hey, there it is. Wrong incident. I apologize for that. So let's take another look at that real quick. Let's see exactly what happens here. So Bruno moves back onto the track, and he turned right. That was on you, Bruno. Unfortunate. Julio just gets taken out of the race. And then Bruno adds the insult to the injury. Let's see if we can find that. There it is. Oh, we did get past the Ferrari, so let's wind that back and see how that happened there. Let's try. Here we go. Good to hear him say it again. Bruno. Just an inside line, no dooring. What a pass for 11th place.
Idiot.
Good area, hey, Bruno. Wow. Really good. Saw the gap. A little risky. If he would have closed the door, he would have banged us. But I think that was completely controlled. What a great pass. What a good pass. Now at this point, knowing myself, doing a pass like that, coming down the Mount Panorama, We have 2 more laps to go. I am stoked, and we're driving away. The Ferrari's gonna have the draft here, but we know that we're faster in the corners than this guy. We are feeling on top of the world at this point. No damage to the car. 1 incident point, which honestly I haven't seen. It might have been that contact with the wall back there. One-time incident is usually an off track. I don't know if I've seen that. Just because I didn't catch it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Excuse me. We'll do a little, nothing aggressive, but we're going to defend. We're going to move off the racing line, make sure that Ferrari can't get too much of the draft. Get off the line as quickly as possible. Gap really is growing out of that corner, so Ferrari is going to catch us by the corner here. We might drift to the middle of the track. Nope, it's far enough away. Yep, drift to the middle of the track. Back to the braking zone. So we're prepared to defend this position. This one belongs to me. Too much battling. Ferrari's still sniffing hot on the trail. Got plenty of draft to pull them up to us. We get through the mountain down. Nice and steep this time. Look at that. Right along Ferrari, following the Ascension Racing BMW. Wipers on, clear off the marbles that get stuck to your windshield there. That's the race. That is the race. 11 laps complete. Finish in P11. Nothing spectacular with the finishing position, but a great race nonetheless. Nice and close. Don't know how long this replay lasts, but let's run it out. Gonna stay quiet. We'll take a nice cruise up Mount Panorama. Everybody, thanks for watching. I think I do have a couple more videos, but we will see you next time.